And think of it this way. What if God right now is looking at you, your life, and He's saying, knowing that I have given them free choice to make decisions from day to day, but everything that they have is from me. I have blessed them. I have blessed you. And what if He's looking there saying, I want to see, almost looking at it as a test, as to, I want to see how they will be with what I've given them. What will they do? What kind of a steward will they be? What if this whole life had more to do with that than we realized? Well, you know what? It does. Check this out. Matthew 25. Jesus tells a parable of a manager who goes off and he gives 3 guys some money. And they're each varying amounts. And he goes away, and one of them goes and does some stuff with it, makes it accumulate more. And whenever the master comes back, he says, here's not only what you gave me, but I have more. I've been a good steward of what you gave me. And then the second one was the same. Even though it was a lesser amount, he still brought it back plus a little bit more because he worked it. He was smart with it. And the master commends them and says, good, you have been a good, faithful steward in what I have given you. But then the third guy, who was only given one deal, is he comes and goes, I knew that you were a hard man. I knew that you were tough. So you know what I did? I took your money, I buried it in the ground so that it wouldn't get lost. And here it is, your one thing that you gave me. And at first it's kind of like, in a way to look at it, you could say, well, that was kind of good because at least he didn't lose it. But that's not what God is after. And this guy gets raked over the coals. In verse 28 it says, take the talent from him and give it to the one who has 10 talents. For everyone who has been given more, he will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what he has will be taken from him, and throw that worthless servant outside into the darkness where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. If the guy gets thrown out and says, you wicked, lazy, no good for nothing, out of here. The parable it's a lot more about us and the way we are with what God has given us. Are we just the guy that's going to be neutral and take what he's going to say, there it is, just neutral, nothing. Just go on, fine. It's not what God is after. God is after someone that says, God, what should I do with what I've been blessed with? And that doesn't just have to do with your money. It has to do with every little bit of your life. Everything. Luke 16:10 says it like this. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. And whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much. So if you have not been trustworthy with handling worldly wealth, who will trust you with true riches? And if you have not been trustworthy with someone else's property, who will give you property of your own? Well, what is the true riches? The true riches is heaven, the kingdom of heaven. What if what we're dealing with here is a test to say, hey, how are you going to be with up there? Okay, so not only is it a reflection of our heart, but it's a test of our stewardship. And then the third and final thing is this. God is interested in how we deal with our money because it aids in practical ministry to our fallen world. And remember how I said the Bible is incredibly practical? There's a very practical issue to this as well. We can look at many times in the Bible. I'm thinking of Joseph. You remember Joseph when he was put in charge of Egypt. He did something very smart. He actually stored up grain in big storage bins so that if there was ever a problem, then the needs of people could be met. And he did. And people, including his own family, came to him from all over, and they received that because of how he dealt with the stuff that he was entrusted to. Okay? There's a practical issue as well. It's very practical. Also, in the Bible, Joash in the Old Testament was a guy that saw that there were some issues in the temple. It was broken down. There was stuff that was not working right. And so what he did is he put a box. They bored out a hole in it in the temple so that they could collect money so that they could fix it. And that was just a practical issue of how we deal with our money here on the earth, is we bring it in a way so that the practical issues can be taken care of, so poor people can be fed, so that nobody can have need. New Testament, great stuff right here. Acts 4:32. And and this is just a picture, ideally, of the church taking their resources and saying, we're going to do with it whatever that we can to glorify God. This is Acts 4:32. All the believers were in one heart and one mind. No one claimed that any of his possessions was his own, but they shared everything they had. With great power, the apostles continued to testify to the resurrection of the Lord Jesus. And much grace was upon them all. There was no needy person among them. For from time to time, those who owned lands and houses sold them, bought the money from the sale, and put it at the apostles' feet, and it was distributed to anyone that had need. That's very practical. Also, another one, Acts 2:44. All the believers were together. They had everything in common. Selling their possessions and goods, they gave to anyone as he had need. And then skipping on down to 47. And the Lord added to their number daily those that were being saved. And so, not only is what we do with our money a barometer on the spiritual side of it, but it's also there are practical issues for it as well.